She told herself it was practical, not cruel. When Elena walked down the aisle toward Victor Hale, the marble floor reflected chandeliers worth more than her childhood home, and the orchestra swelled like the closing scene of a film she never auditioned for. Victor's smile was calm, confident, the smile of a man who bought certainty the way others bought coffee. Elena wore a gown stitched with pearls, yet her hands trembled as she placed them in his. She remembered the tiny apartment she grew up in, the unpaid bills, the nights her mother cried quietly. Love had never paid the rent. Money did. And so she said her vows with a steady voice, even as a small, dangerous part of her heart whispered that something precious was being buried alive. The reception glittered with power and envy. Crystal glasses chimed, deals were whispered between courses, and everyone congratulated Victor on acquiring a wife as elegant as one of his skyscrapers. Elena smiled until her cheeks ached. She played her role flawlessly, laughing at jokes she barely heard, nodding as if she belonged in this world of tailored suits and ruthless confidence. Victor leaned close and murmured, "You'll never have to worry again." She nodded, grateful and guilty all at once. She told herself she could learn to love him, or at least learn to live comfortably beside him. After all, comfort was what she had always wanted, wasn't it? When the time came for wedding gifts, the room quieted with anticipation. Victor received paintings, watches, keys to cars that purred like wild animals. Then his assistant wheeled in a modest wooden box, unpolished and plain. "This one," Victor said softly, "is from me to you." Murmurs rippled through the guests. Elena forced a smile, expecting diamonds, perhaps deeds. Victor opened the box slowly, deliberately, as if savoring the moment. Inside lay a bundle of old letters tied with a faded blue ribbon, a thin silver necklace, and a photograph so worn its edges curled. Elena's breath caught. The photograph showed her at 20, laughing in the rain, hair plastered to her face, arms wrapped around a man whose eyes shone with reckless hope. The letters were addressed in a handwriting she knew by heart. Her knees weakened as Victor lifted one and read aloud, his voice steady but sharp. "To Elena, my forever. I will love you even when I have nothing." Gasps filled the room. Victor looked at her then, really looked, and asked quietly, "Do you recognize these?" Tears blurred her vision as memories crashed over her, late-night dreams, shared bread, promises whispered under broken streetlights. Victor closed the box and faced the guests. "These," he said, "belong to my younger brother." Silence fell like a blade. He loved a woman deeply. He planned to marry her when he had enough money. Last winter, he died in an accident, still believing in that love. Victor turned back to Elena, pain finally cracking his composure. He never knew she chose wealth over him. Elena tried to speak, but the words collapsed inside her chest. The room felt suddenly airless, the chandeliers too bright, the applause from earlier now echoing like mockery. "I married you," Victor continued, voice low, "because I wanted to understand what could make someone abandon a love like that." His eyes softened, not with cruelty, but with devastating clarity. "I wanted to see if money truly changes the heart." Elena's sob broke free, raw and uncontrollable. She reached for him, but he stepped back, placing the necklace into her shaking hands. "He wanted you to have this," Victor said. Even after everything. Guests looked away, some in shame, some in pity. The empire around her suddenly felt hollow, built on a foundation of loss. The music never resumed. Elena stood alone amid silk and gold, clutching the necklace as if it were a lifeline. In that moment, she understood the cost of her choice. She had married for money, and in return, she had been gifted the truth she ran from. Love, once rejected, does not wait patiently forever. It leaves scars, it echoes through lives, it finds its way back when it's too late. As Victor walked away, Elena realized that the greatest poverty was not having nothing, but losing something irreplaceable, and being rich enough to finally see it.